Hello kids, I'm going to show you how to assemble the Artbot. I'm going to do it from the beginning so you have all the steps. Alright, the first thing you have to do is make sure how much you have advanced. So for example, if you have advanced this, you can click on Tinker this. If you have advanced only with the cylinder, you gotta click on Tinker this. Or whatever you have advanced with, that's where you have to click. And that's what you have to tinker. All right, so maybe you're very advanced with this, so you click on tinker this. So let's make an example with how much you have advanced with this model. Okay, so let's suppose you have advanced this, but I'm going to do it from the beginning. All right, so this is the final result. We need all the pieces like this, but I want to start from the beginning, so to show you all of these steps. So because maybe you haven't done it from the beginning. So we're going to do it step by step. For that, you need the measurements in Aula Virtual. So you need to go to cycle 3, that's where it is, and you need to go to robotics, cycle 3 robotics. So you go to cycle 3 robotics, and then you go to the measurements, which are here. Well, this is the actual model, and the measurements are here. So you need a cylinder. You need actually 3 cylinders to start with. The first cylinder is 63 height, 70 width, and 70 the length. All right, so let's do it here. So let's begin with the cylinder. We have the first cylinder, and you can zoom in just so you have more control. And first thing you have to do is make sure you have 64 sides. All right, 64 sides, so you don't have any lines over here. So now that you have this 64 sides, you can actually duplicate them because you're going to need 3 cylinders, cylinder 1, cylinder 2, and cylinder 3. So you come here to duplicate and repeat. So 1 and 2, because you need two different models, one here and the second one over here. So that's what you need. You need 3 different cylinders. So we're just going to place them in different places so you can work with each one of them. So the first one you need to work on is 63, 70, and 70. So 63 height, this is the height. So we click on the number and we do 63. All right, that's very tall. So you can zoom out so you can see it better. And let's look at the sides. Width 70, length 70. So this is the width and the length. So 70 and 70. 70 and 70. And there you go. That's the first cylinder. You already have the first cylinder here. Let me hide this. I'm going to select the second one. The second cylinder has 63, 67, and 67. So remember those numbers. 63 height over here, 67 and 67. So try and work out your memory so you remember. 67 and let's just move it here. 67. So make sure you have the numbers correct. It doesn't look like a cylinder right now, so I need to see what was wrong. 67 here, not 20. So 67, 67, and 63. This one, 70, 70, and 63. So the second cylinder is actually a hole, okay? It doesn't say here, but it's going to be a hole, all right? And now you can put them side by side. And let's hide this so we have more space. Let's go home so you have a better view. And now let's work on the third cylinder. The third cylinder is height 20, width 24.75, and 24.75. So let's do that. So this one 24.75, 24.75, and the height, let's see what the height is, 20. So the height is 20. Oh, it's actually right there, so it's cool. And the second one, it's also a hole. So we already have the 3 cylinders here. So the first thing you have to do is get the 2 big cylinders, and you're going to select them and align them because we need to make this into 2. We need to combine them. So the first thing we do is align. So I repeat that step for you. Select the 2 big cylinders, align. So align in the middle and also in the middle. So actually in the 2 middles. That's all you do. And it's going to look like this. And now we have to do something special. Let me zoom in a little bit. Well, it's not going to work like that. So I'm going to select both of them and move them here so I can work better. And I'm going to select actually the the hole, okay? And this hole, I'm going to lift it up 3 millimeters. 1, 2, and 3. We're actually working with millimeters. 3 millimeters, all right? So 1, 2, and 3. And that's it. So it's just a little bit. So actually, when that is ready, it's going to look like this. We have lifted up 3 centimeters, okay? So that's it. After you have lifted 3 centimeters, you can actually millimeters, you're going to select them all and group it. And now, after you group it, you're going to have something like this, like a bucket. All right, so that's it. The next step is to align the smallest cylinder to the bucket that we already have, like a cylinder with a base. So you select them all, you align. Remember, align always in the middle and in the middle. And now, as you can see, you have it right there aligned right in the center. So when you have it right in the center, you select it and you group it. And now you got like the basic shape or the basic chassis that we're going to use. All right, so we already have that step, and now we're going to go ahead and work on the rectangle. So the rectangle is going to be our propeller, and I'm going to show you right here in the picture. So here's the propeller. So let's make that propeller for Arbot. So let's go ahead and make a rectangle with these measurements. Height 3 millimeters, width 16 millimeters, and length 70 millimeters. Try and remember that because you have a good memory. 3, 16, and 70. 3, 16, and 70. So let's do that. So we need a box, and that box, remember, is going to be, remember the numbers? You forgot, right? 3, 16, and 70. 3 height. So let's just look like this. This is going to be the height, and that's going to be 3. There you go. So 16 and 70 length. 16 width and 70 length. So the length is going to be from left to right. If you look at it from this perspective, 70. And the width is 16th. You see it right there? So 16th. The width is 16, so let's just put it like that. And we already have the rectangle. What else do we need? We need more parts. We need the rectangle. We need a cylinder that is going to be the hole, and that's going to be 566. 566. Let's work out that memory. 566. So cylinder. Here you go. So 6 height. You sure? Or 5 height? 5 height. There you go. Look at it over here. 5 height. So 5 height. And the length, you can actually zoom in so you can see it better. Let's just move it over here. So we got the length of 6 and the other parts 6 and 6. That's actually what we call it, the width and the length. So we got a cylinder width 6 and 6 length and 6 width, and the height, which is right here, it is going to be 5. And we're forgetting something. Remember, all cylinders need to have 64 sides, so they don't have any lines. And to make this easier, all you can do is select it and duplicate it, because you're gonna make a similar cylinder, but this is actually going to be a hole. 5, 2.5, 2.5. So 5 is going to be the height. We already have it, but these ones, the length and the width are going to be 2.5 and 2.5. There you go. So it's really small. So what we can do is make it a hole, make it into a hole, and what we're going to do is put all of this together, because it's going to look like this. Let me show you. It's going to look exactly like this over here. So that's going to be the hole where we insert the shaft of the motor. So let's actually select them both and align them. So remember, you always align in the middle and in the middle, and we have something like that. All right. And now that we have it like that, we need to select it so we can move it. Let's zoom in so I don't make a mistake. And you're just going to put it somewhere in the middle. So you can actually, we don't have a measurement for that, but make sure it's almost in the middle. So we can put it maybe there, and that's it. So now that we have it there, we can select the rectangles and group all of that. All right, let's see if that can be grouped. Over here, I group, and now we have it, and you can actually see a hole right there. That's the hole where we're going to insert the motor. So let's zoom out and let's see if I select it. Can I move it? Yes, because it is grouped. And now that's it. So we already have the two parts of the chassis. That's all we're going to print with the 3D printer. That's all we need. So the rest is going to be the components, the electrical components that we need. So we need a battery, we need a battery holder. We're just going to use a battery here. We need a switch and we need a motor. And then we need to connect the wires, but we're going to do that physically. So, but for now, you need to have all those parts so you can assemble it. So you're going to search for battery, and you're actually going to get the big battery, which is the 9V battery. So you need that. You also need a motor. You also need a motor, and you're going to get this type of motor. Oh, actually, yeah, that's the motor. That's the type of motor we're going to use. I think it is this one, the DC motor, not the vibration one. And what else do we need? We need a switch. We need a switch. Let's see. There you go. We already found it here. Let's see. It's loading, and you can actually get this switch over here. So we need the switch to turn the Arbot on and off. Okay. Now that we have this, we need to assemble it. We need to assemble everything. All right. So let's do that. So to assemble it, we need to put the battery inside the chassis, the main cylinder, so we can probably stick it like that, but just we need to make sure it's well put. So to do that, I can look around. Let's just hide this, and you need to lift it up a little bit like this, so it is like right in the middle, and we have a space over here. Okay, so we can do that and make sure it's not trespassing, so it is fine. Make sure it is not doing this. Don't do that. So make sure it is right, sticking right onto the wall, and that's it, right? So now that we do this, we can actually flip it around. To do that, you select it and you group it. So now it's into one. Now if you want to play around with this, it's going to flip. So let's flip it like this. So we can actually click here and type 180. That's all you have to do. Oh, actually, I'm just flipping the battery because I selected the battery. All right, so I don't want to do that. I want to move it here. Yes, there you go. And I need to click here, and this is going to go all the way around if I type 180. Look at the magic. All right, you see that? That was pretty easy. So let's just go back and show you. So here, click on the arrow to flip it, and I just type 180 because it's going to flip 180 degrees. And that's it. If you want to look underneath, you see that you have it right there. So to do the rest, we need to insert this battery inside here. Okay, so actually let me show you. So I need to maybe put it underground, but you know, I don't want to do that. All I want to do is, let me just see how I can change the view and lift it from here. Remember how big this is? Remember, this is the weight, the height of this 63. So the trick that we can do is click here, lift it up once, and then make sure you can click on it and type 63. So you're going to lift it 63 millimeters, and now you can move it around and make it fit. So go to the top and look around and make sure there is no space between them. So now that you see that there is no space, you can actually insert it. Now let's try and insert it. So you're going to click here again, and you're going to insert it inside. So make sure one part of it is okay. Maybe let's just cover the whole. Just leave a piece of it outside. So it's going to look like this. Okay, it looks weird, right? No, I think that's about fine. It's already inserted right there. Let me just see if we can do something to it. Maybe insert a little bit more downwards, and now it is rightly inserted. Ah, there you go. You see this space over here? So that's why you need to make sure to look around. Look all the way around and just move it, and there you go. I don't think there is a space anymore, so it is, you see there is just a little bit outside, and that's it. So now that it is inserted, we need to come and get our propeller, lift it 63, remember 63 is the height, move it first to lift it, type 63, and now it is up. So now that you type 63, you need to do something with this. You need to flip it because this hole has to be attached here. So remember to flip it, you come here. Let me just zoom out a little bit. So you come to one of the arrows here, and you're going to type 180 to flip it all the way from up to back, from up to down, upside down. And now that you type on this, you see the hole here, and if you look from beneath, you can see the hole that is going to be attached to it. So you can move it here and make sure this one matches the hole. Look, you see the shaft matching the hole. This is the shaft of the motor that is going to move. Look, but you need to make sure it is matching the, not trespassing it, but just leave just like this, like not a hole, not trespassing it completely, but just right there. So let's examine. Now make sure it is rightly, there you go, it is well inserted. So you have it very well inserted, and now you see the propeller. When this thing actually rotates, this thing is going to move around like this with a real component. And now we just need to put the switch somewhere, but that's going to be your job. Where do you think we can put the switch? And you can actually look underneath, and you can actually, let's do something before we attach the switch. So let's select it, select everything, and make it into one. How do you do that? You group it, and now you can actually lift it, and you can move it and play around with it. All right, so now your job is, where can you put this switch? And that's what you need to figure out, or I'll make another video about it. So, and we also need to find some markers, because we need to put some markers around here so it works. There are no markers, so you might need to draw them, but that's going to be a creativity work. For now, we are happy that we have our Arbot, and like this, all the pieces are attached, the battery, and that's it. So I hope you learned a lot with this video, and please follow all the steps. You can pause, you can rewind the video, and do anything you want so you can learn from it and do all the steps. All right, thank you for watching.